Hi, everybody. Afternoon, and we're glad you showed up here today to learn about super launches. And if you are able to hear our voices and see my face, I'd love to give me a little heads up and let me know that you can hear real well and you can see your screens and you can see me on there saying hi. Anybody been aware of the stuff going on in China? That was a pretty incredible explosion. I don't think I've ever seen an explosion so big in my life. There was these 25-story buildings you could see in the background, and those fireball was about 3 or 4 levels above that. So like 100 floors high, this thing was crazy. So Kaylin sees us and hears us. So
just going to do a quick sound check from the Philippines. Philippines calling in with our scores.
Yes, there he goes. I see and hear you're on, you're on. So we're all broadcasting live.
Yeah, you're right, Rob. You know, so I've got a few contacts out in China, and I lived in China for a while, and I've never seen anything like that. Did you know that they actually felt the seismic wave in America and measured it as a 2.4 on the Richter scale?
I mean, I'm not shocked at that in any way. I mean, like there was a crazy explosion. I've never seen anything like that before in my life.
No. Yeah, that was incredible.
And that's one of the things that I tell people about my strategy is I don't want to get tied up into 1 or 2 products. Because what if you got a product that was sitting in that port and it blew up and your container is now burned up and you're not getting your product and you're not getting your money back because the supplier is not in charge of that product once it's at the port, right, Paul?
No, that's correct. If you're the only way you're going to get any refund or any comeback on that is if you've had CIF dealings, which is very few and far between. Now, most of it is going to be ex-works. Therefore, you take responsibility for your goods at the factory gate, or FOB, which is basically the port. So either way, it's your deal. And if you're not insured, that's not a good thing.
That's one of the things that I tell people, and I would think, and I don't know if it would count out of the country, but I would think that your basic business owner's policy may help you out in that instance. I don't know that for sure, maybe out of the country, but certainly if it was on an American port and that happened, you would be covered and you'd be able to recover your money. And that's why basic business owner insurance is kind of important into your business. All right. So, Paul, are you ready to help us get started here? Is everybody ready to hear about how to super launch your product today? Well, I sure hope. All right, Paul and I have been working on this for quite a while. I think there's some crazy good information here that will help give you a significant advantage over your competition when you launch your product. One of the things about the other $5,000 course is their goal is to do a similar thing that I try to do, which is basically to kind of overwhelm the market with your marketing efforts and create such a stir that it's very easy to move up. I think that's true, except for the $5,000 course recommends, I think, very too much competitive product. So, and that's why I think that, you had to learn from that Chinese deal. You don't want to have your business go out of business because you don't have product. And that happens if you're doing $75,000 a month and that goes away, you have zero now. So, Paul, if you want to share your screen, let's get started on it.
Here we go.
Can everybody still hear? It looks like we got video. All right, let's do this thing. If you're looking to supercharge your Amazon product launches and skyrocket your BSR and organic sales, or you have a product that is underperforming right now, and these super launch strategies can help you in both cases. Diesel the Dancing Wonder Dog is here with me. My best mate, Paul Adams, is in the Philippines, and we're going to share with you how to launch your product after your product arrives at your house from China. The other day, someone asked me what the Amazon Gorillaz are. We're a group of everyday people trying to change the way we live because we're trying to create an online business that'll give us the freedom to make the choices we want with our time. Together, we can navigate the seller's jungle. There are over 7,000 followers in our mastermind and Facebook groups, and there's over 100 hours of recorded webinars, and 100,000 minutes have been spent on YouTube viewing these videos, and it's all been free, just like today. Last month, we launched our Amazon Bootcamp with an amazing group of people who made the choice to have the Gorillaz help them find a product and launch it. I'm happy to say, and I'm very proud of them, as almost all of them have picked a product and have received their samples or their initial sample order. Proves that when you work as a group and have support, your confidence explodes and things get done. I'm only going to take an hour of your time today, so open up your brains and let's get ready to download some information. Paul, tell them what Super Launch Bootcamp agenda is for today.
Well, basically what we're going to go through is a number of different areas, and we're going to be looking at sort of the listings for various different techniques. We're going to be covering titles that convert, the importance of bullet points, the importance of images, and the descriptions that tell a story, right? How to get reviews, right? We're generating super URLs. We're looking at running promotions, giveaway, or do we charge for those? Question and answer section within your listing. A lot of people overlook that. And basically, we'll be covering the importance of that. Keywords, how to get them, and how many do you have? And pay-per-click. And this is Amazon advertising. So it's advertising within Amazon itself. We're going to be looking at automatic targeting campaigns and manual targeting campaigns. Okay, so that's basically the agenda and what we're going to be covering today.
Thanks, Paul.
Rob?
Let's get started, and we're going to talk about content and titles in your listing as one of the most important things product launch. Content is what connects you to the customer, and more importantly, to your potential customers. Picking a product is important, but if you don't have a great listing, you're never going to sell your product or be able to get any traction that results in top-level organic search results, which is what we're all trying to achieve. When creating a listing on Amazon, you don't have much control over the design because the page itself is a default Amazon template. But all you have to control are the product title, the image, and the description, and this is where we need to make sure our listing shines. There are some hacks I'll talk about later, like video reviews, pics with reviews, and question and answer area in your listing. Titles show in more places than just your Amazon product page. For example, when you search an Amazon listing, what is your normal process? You click the home page and type in whatever it is that you need. That's how practically everyone does it. The listing results, which includes an image and your product title, is all the shopper sees. Customers have to make a decision on which one to click based upon a tiny picture and about 17 words of copy. Yes, your title can be longer, but only 17 words of it fit into your Amazon search results. It's usually about 100 characters or less. While Amazon also says you don't have to use keywords in other areas of your page, I feel like it's a good idea to do so for a couple of reasons. I think it helps with Google rankings. Google has a different ranking criteria than Amazon. Without going into much detail, just know that it will help you sprinkle, not to flood your copy with key phrases. Search on Google for your keywords for your product category, and you'll find that on the front page of Google, there will be several Amazon listings. To me, that's like winning a lottery. You get free views
and you get free organic search results on Google that then if people are looking for that specific product category word, they will jump into your Amazon listing. And so you're getting extra views on your listing directly from your keywords, which gives you a lot more site authority, and Amazon's going to give that keyword ranking to you a higher value because people have come and basically it's almost like a super URL where people have found a keyword and then jumped right to your listing. When customers have questions about your products, it stops them from converting. Product titles, both Amazon and Google believe that a title is best around 70 for Google, and Amazon says about 80. Why would you try to game these guys at a game they play? If they say those are the best numbers, why would you question it? To me, everything else is nonsense. The number one reason why titles with less than 100 characters matter is that 10% of Amazon purchases are now made on mobile devices, almost $10 billion worth. Ever look at a listing with 200 characters on a phone? It's horrible to read. It lowers your conversion once you get those factors that lay into getting conversions. So if you have a mobile device that goes to your listing and the top title looks all corrupt and horrible and it takes up your whole screen on your phone, then that can stop people from wanting to click your ad. So you end up not converting as well, which will lower your organic search results. Amazon knows that long titles reduce search fields and deflects potential buyers away, and it's why you're being alerted by them about reducing your title size. It's why they're going to suppress listings that are over 200 characters now. There's no need to report words on a listing, meaning you don't want to repeat words in your listing. Use as many keywords as you can, but there's no need to use your brand name in the title. Why would anybody be searching for your brand if it's brand new? In the title search, it's also part of the search automatically, the name of your company, so don't waste the space. A little creativity and a small time investment will bring you a kind reward, which is money in your pocket. Now, let's move on to your bullet points. So what is a bullet point? Bullet points should be a combination of facts and a story. It's text separated by a point that makes reading fast and easy. It usually provides a summary for quick scanning. It is what you read more than a long description. It's crucial in aiding your sales. Pictures, product, and title and bullet points create the first impression. Creating magic bullet points do so much more than listing a feature of the product. They help sell the product by identifying what the features can do for the customers and help give the mental picture to see themselves using the product. Points to remember here. Choose what sets your product apart and highlight the benefits. Start with the most important benefit first and work your way down. Take advantage of all 5 bullet points on Amazon and all 100 characters. Examples of great bullet points that sell products. So here's kind of a couple different ones. Boring is aluminum alloy. Better, carefully constructed of high quality aluminum alloy for years of maintenance-free enjoyment. But here's a really good one. Carefully constructed of high quality rust-free aluminum alloy. You can enjoy it for many years with virtually no maintenance. You can see from this example that something as boring as the product's material can be made more interesting to the reader. Each bullet should be a selling point explaining why the product features is important and how they will benefit the customer. Your customers will thank you because they will get the information they're looking for, and your wallet will thank you too. You should aim to sell your product to the page viewer from your bullet points alone. Use capital letters for the first few main words of each bullet point. Use capital letters for the first few main words of each bullet point. It allows the customer to break up the listing visually to the more important readable and to quickly scan the details. In essence, these are your headlines, extra headlines. Amazon really limits how you can customize your listing, but using caps is one of the best methods at the front of your listing bullet point that will make it available for important points to stand out. Caps help your customers get the benefits of your product by scanning as many people will not read all of the text. If the key benefits that your prospect is looking for are capitalized, they will immediately stand out to your buyer and hook them into reading more. As long as you know who your customer is and you define that, who your main customer is, these bullet points should stand out to them. They should be focused to your main customer. Try and sell extra products on the fourth bullet point. I generally recommend trying to give bulk discounts when possible, and people love discounts, and it can be an easy way to double or triple your profits per sale with just a few words on the page. You can create a discount codes for bulk purchases in the Amazon Seller Promotions Manager. Here's an example. The best iPhone case available. Our iPhone 6 cases are routinely voted #1 by our users. Our focus is quality and second to none. It's extremely lightweight. We go above and beyond when it comes to material selection. We use state-of-the-art lightweight materials to ensure barely even notice the case is there. Slim, thin, sexy. We make the thinnest case for the iPhone 6 on the market. You won't find a case that is more slim anywhere. Attractive matte colored base. And then here's that important last bullet point. Buy 3 and save 25%. We love our customers and want them to love us too. If you buy 3 or more iPhone cases, you can immediately save 25% at checkout. Buy for a friend or a loved one and save together. That's what bullet points do. They're basically extra headlines, and it's part of the things that people scan over. And if the product is a lower priced product, lots of times at that point, they can make a decision to buy the product just based upon your pictures, your title, and your bullet points give them enough site authority and enough social proof that they'll actually purchase your product. Now let's go to probably the second most important thing, and bullet points probably fall after this, but it's images. The way you present yourself and Amazonic products online has a significant impact on your sales. Amateur-looking product shots erode consumers' trust and could send them fleeing. Fortunately, you don't need to spend $10,000 on product pics, but I would suggest you hire a professional photographer or a product photography service that can install the faith in your listing and get results for you. At the very least, you should hire a Photoshop person if you have to take the pictures yourself, but make sure you have great lighting and you have the highest quality picture you can. And a good person with Photoshop can improve those products and those pics immensely. But I really suggest you get a product Photoshop professionally. A big clear image, a picture is worth 1,000 words, and it also is the most important part of your product listing. If you don't know what you're buying, why would you buy it? Product photography could well be the most single important part of your listing. And I'm saying that twice because it is. Without the ability to touch, hold, smell, or taste, or otherwise handle the product they are interested in, potential customers only have the images to interact with. And just like the bullet points and just like the title, you should begin to sell a story. Ultimately, the softer, tastier, flashier, and more attractive your product looks to shoppers, the more confidence they'll have to feel about purchasing it from you, and the better conversion rate will result. As with many websites of this nature, super clear photos are essential to compensate for customers' inability to feel the ties to that product. But sharp images and high quality close-ups add a lot of visual appeal. Good product pictures can be had for between $250 and $500 if you use one of the services that I'll give you at the end of this webinar. It's a photo resource, and it has about more than a dozen different places that I've kind of gathered over the last 6 months of people that have used product services or actual photographers that I've listed in here. I think you should use all the picture spaces because Amazon gives you a listing more authority if you have the most information and you complete the listing from front to back. Here's some top level insight that I think I've come up with. I think pictures 5 and 6 should be different. I believe that an infographic at slot 5 gives you the customer more information and a visual, just like on social media, where very popular post of infographics because people can take in a lot of information in a very short visual look. The last pick slot, I look to add a product promotion page, a flyer outlining multiple products with them a coupon code for multiple purchases. I think that at least 2 pictures should have faces of them as well. because 40% more likely are people to be able to trust a picture if there's a face in it. Spend some time and money plotting your pictures. Make that a priority and spend some time and use your creativity to be able to show that product in action, to show people using it. And if you have a product that would be leaning more towards having somebody to give yourself some social proof, like if you have a product that is a spa-oriented product, why not go to a spa and actually take pictures of people in white lab coats or whatever it is you feel like the image of a spa person working with somebody, that will give you some site authority. So use your mind to be able to come up with product pics that are super clear. The first two, I really suggest that they have really super white backgrounds and really show the product so they can zoom in on it and really get some great information. Let's go to the last part of what I think a great listing is, which is super important part of your launch of your product. All right, let's talk about the last part of a product description that gets you ready for your product launch. When you write a product description with a huge crowd of buyers in mind, your description becomes wishy-washy and you end up addressing no one at all. You must ask and answer questions if you're having a conversation with them. Choose the words of your ideal buyer and use those words like you. Entice them with benefits. Like here's an example of a great script. Sometimes the scent of seasonal hand wash is all we need to rouse our holiday spirits. They're available in an array of festive fragrances. Our naturally derived gel hand wash will leave your hands soft, clean, and ready to be tucked into a pair of iron mittens. It's really the most wonderful time of the year. That benefit of their soap is not just what your hands become soft and clean, but the soap actually arouses the holiday spirit, making the holiday more festive and therefore more enjoyable. There's also a copywriting trick to increase your desire. Let the reader imagine what it would like to be to own your product. Using review product pics. So one of the things that we want to see you do is to create and look for people that do product reviews with pictures. So there are many top level reviewers out there. If you contact them, usually they're ones under 5,000 that will give you a review that includes a video or pictures. Now sometimes I think they cost as much as $25 to have somebody give you a product review. But one of the great things about that is that your reviews then stand out because Amazon gives a better site authority with somebody that has product pics. And so I also think it's important to make sure that if you get any product pics from a reviewer, it's great if you can get pictures of people, which is an important part. Also, if you can see their face in the pictures or the video, that will help out a lot. Now, there's another great important part that I talked about, which is a hack. Before you get to reviews, there's the customer questions and answers. And one of the great things about that is that usually they're left open. So I would suggest that maybe you look out and try to find people that may ask questions of you that you're able to give great responses to. So, and anybody can ask a question from anywhere in the country. They don't have to have purchased the product. You just make sure that those questions have answers to them, because it's a big empty space on a page that I think you could use to your advantage. So that's one of the hacks I would suggest, to make sure you figure out how you can get some questions in there and be able to answer those questions yourself. So there's a person that I want to talk about who wrote this great description of a barbecue. So there's a person in the, so here's another product description that I really like. There's a person who's a hero of every barbecue or family cookout, and that's the grill master. We always look forward to our mom and dad as they tended to the grill. Look forward to the day when we could be in charge of charring the meat stuff and searing the delicious slices of pineapple. Now that we're adults, it's finally time to turn our technology has smiled upon us and give us a tool that is destined to impress. So there's a great answer for a barbecue product. So it's just, you can see the way in which we're able to use words to entice people. The practice of copywriting technique starts with a sentence with the word imagine. Explain how your reader will feel owning and using your product. Include many stories in your product description lowers rational barriers against persuasion techniques. In other words, we forget that we're being sold. Dazzle your readers with vivid product descriptions. Think about the words like velvety, smooth, crisp, and bright. Start crafting a story throughout your listing and make sure that the tone matches your audience. Then you also may want to add some HTML to divide up the description. You just need some basic HTML. You can look that up online and look for what you'd like. There's even some sites out there where you can go in and paste in your HTML questions, and then it will give it back to you I imagine a lot of your minds may be spinning thinking, that's a lot of information, a lot of things I gotta learn. How can I do all of these things on my own? Wouldn't it be great to have a group of people that you could rely on, that you could share with, that you could learn from? Our Amazon Bootcamp members meet twice a week at about 3 or 4 hours each week in the Gorillaz Base Camp, where we learn everything about creating your Amazon business. We invite experts like Chris Guthrie and $400,000 a year seller Greg Mercer to speak and talk about their strategies and how they pick products. We also have other 10K a month sellers stop by and share their secrets on how to become a great sellers. I cover topics and give training sessions about the very same topics we talked about today, but much more in depth. The best part is we do questions and answers till we get everyone's hurdles overcome. The single most important thing you can do is find mentors and sellers that can help you avoid future potholes. I'm going to talk about the Gorillaz Bootcamp after we finish with the super launch. If you stick around to the end, I'm going to give everyone a free copy of the Gorillaz 7-step strategy to become a successful seller. It includes workbooks and over 3 hours of videos. We're going to open up the bootcamp again next week. So let's get back to the next step of the super launch, initial reviews. Earlier we talked about some of the hacks I use to create advantages. And make sure you find yourself video reviews and picture reviews. And like I would suggest you figure out how you can get your questions and answers filled out because that's a very underutilized thing that I see in a lot of listings, and you can use that to your advantage. So let's talk about reviews and how important they are in your promotional super launch program. I'm going to share some really cool secrets and some really cool hacks that I've come up with to help create some successful super launches. The biggest risk you have in your Amazon business is the lack of having a solid promotional and marketing plan. You should have a budget of at least 50% of your first order to market and promote that product. These days, customers who buy products on websites like Amazon place a great deal of importance on the number and the nature of the reviews being from other customers. Good reviews generally result in more sales, while bad reviews cost sales. In short, product companies need reviews from real customers in order to compete on websites like Amazon. By giving away products for free or very low cost, this is a very important to your launch. I don't suggest that you do them all in 1 week. Here's a hack: spread them out over the first 5 to 6 weeks in around a number of about 20 to 25 over 4 to 5 weeks. And this will begin to give you a better sales history over that time instead of it all happening in 1 week. More reviews, which result in higher BSR and more from organic search results. Then, because of these reviews and the sales associated with them, you'll get better organic search results. If you keep getting them from honest reviews, it's that simple. One of the tricks is to only promote a product later in the week so you have some momentum going into the weekend that you're peaking on Saturday and Sunday with the week's highest BSR. The longer your competitors have more reviews than you, the longer the perception reigns. Their product is better than your product. If you get several negative reviews, you should immediately start a product promotion to bury those reviews from the page. I would encourage you to work on trying to encourage people to vote down negative reviews and to vote up positive ones, especially picture and video reviews. Accurate numbers are hard to find, but believe you do nothing, just let your customers review when they want to. Only around 1 out of 100 will do so if they liked your product. That means you'll have to sell 10,000 units before you get 100 reviews. Follow-up software helps as well. We'll talk about that in a minute. While both review and giveaways made significant improvements, and as well as feedback programs, nothing does as better as the review strategy comes close. Product giveaways to review groups are the #1 way in which you can increase your BSR and create better site authority. Before I give you this answer, I definitely want to let you know there's some very good news. Clearly, according to Amazon own rules, and you hear this a lot of time that you can't do this, and that reviews are getting taken down. I'm not saying that reviews aren't getting taken down, but they're getting taken down because they're not obeying the TOS. So it's just not like reviews are getting removed from everybody. It does happen because Amazon's data mining, and sometimes they're making mistakes with this, and people are getting reviews. But I think there's some Facebook hysteria in the groups that sometimes happen because you read it in one group, you see it in another group, it gets spread around, and all of a sudden you feel like everybody's having that happen. I'm not saying it's not, but I'm saying sometimes I don't believe that it's as big as you think it is. So you're definitely allowed to give free or reduced products and then request Amazon to review in return. When done correctly, this is a brilliant strategy that can turn a relatively unknown product on Amazon.com into one that has appearance of being popular. That can be good for future sales, and the strategy is being used successfully by a lot of Amazon sellers right now. Making sure that you run promotions that comply with Amazon sellers' terms is critical. This is something you don't want to get wrong. You're just being banned by Amazon and losing seller privileges. Here's Amazon sellers' terms and conditions, but there's a part you really need to know about, and this is taken right from Amazon sites. Reviews are important to the Amazon marketplace, providing a forum for feedback about product and service details and reviews experiences with products and services. Positive or negative, you may not write reviews for products or services that you have a financial interest in, including reviews for products or services that your competitors sell. Additionally, you may not provide compensation for a review other than free copy of the product. If you offer a free product, it must be clear that you are soliciting an unbiased review. The free product must be provided in advance. No refunds are permitted after the review is written. Review solicitations that ask for only positive reviews or offering compensation are prohibited. You may not ask buyers to remove a negative review. You can ask them if you can solve the problem or improve their buying experiences with their current purchase, explaining that you're a small company and how bad product reviews affect your views, offering to do whatever it takes to improve their experience, and that you are willing to do that. Many times this will result in a review change. You just can't ask them to change it. During the launch, for the first 6 weeks, you need to get as many sales as you can. So sometimes I don't believe that even if somebody doesn't do a review for a product, I don't care. The purchase helps my BSR a lot anyway. Amazon is most purpose is to give their customers the best price out there. So I believe when you launch your product, you should have a really good price on it. Maybe only making a couple dollars so that you can create that sales velocity, because if you lower your price, Amazon's going to give you more organic views because they see that your product is similar keywords, and you're offering at a much better price. Interestingly, Amazon also states that friends and family members of Amazon sellers are not permitted to write reviews of their products. You don't need to do this regardless. There are so many review groups that it's basically a never-ending group of review groups. So when you get your family involved, Amazon right now is doing what they call data mining, and they're figuring out, I think, between Facebook groups and Facebook friends that these people are connected to you, and some of the reasons why they're taking down reviews. Reviewers must conspicuously disclose a review that received the item for free or at a discount exchange for the review, that the review should be honest and not influenced by the results of the discount. There's some reasons why this is a great idea to do review groups. A bunch of reviews get your product a lot of attention and better ranking. It also helps the product have more credibility. Future shoppers are likely to purchase highly reviewed products at full price. So one of the questions you're probably asking yourself, how can you limit the number of freebie seekers from wiping out your inventory? Now this happens, so one of the things I suggest, and I'll suggest that in a minute, that you use a service to create custom code. Now you can do this on your own, but I also think there's a much higher risk because I know many people that have had their entire inventory wiped out overnight. But the most important secret in this whole deal is to use a super URL and a landing page to give you a unique coupon code that you can do this yourself, like we said, but there are definitely services that do this for you, and there's very different degrees in which they do it. Some of them charge you money, but there are lots and lots of services that maybe have a monthly charge of $29 or $30, so it's not that much. Now, there's definitely places out there like Zone Blast where they're gonna charge you $300 or $400. I don't think you need to do that because there are definitely enough Facebook groups that can help you. So let's talking about keywords in your listing, because that'll lead us into pay-per-click. And then we'll talk about the super URL a lot more. Let's talk about keywords. Most people are making this way harder than it has to be. In fact, many are seriously wasting space by not following what Amazon clearly lays out in Seller Central to help out in this section. Not using keywords correctly in your product listing copy and not having them formatted the right way in your keyword fields can cost you both traffic and sales. Amazon basically counts the title as a keyword field. Many people believe that they must put the keywords in the keyword fields as well as the name and title. Not true according to Amazon. Search terms help customers find products according to Amazon. Your product titles and company name are already searchable. So think about other words that describe your product. Think like Amazon customers when choosing your terms. Use the words they might enter in the search box, including synonyms and common abbreviation. Each product can have up to 5 search lines of 50 characters per line. That's 250 characters. The words you choose are the terms our search engine pulls from when your customers search the site. The individual words in the title, seller's name, and brand are also automatically included in search terms and do not need to be repeated. Any combination of title words, search terms are fully searchable. If you use an inventory file, the template fields for the search terms appear as search terms 1, search terms 2, and so on. For more information about how to create effective search terms, you can use the search and browse in the Amazon Seller Central. In essence, Amazon's internal search engine works by exactly matching individual words, not phrases, that the customer types in the search box with individual keywords you put in your product title and keyword fields. The title and the keyword fields hold equal weight. Hear that again. The title, keyword fields, and the title hold equal weight. Title tags hold more weight in Google, so therefore most people assume the same is true in Amazon. Incorrect. Amazon specifically tells us not to waste space by repeating words across certain fields because they are included when the shopper conducts the search. This is from Amazon again. There are 5 fields entering keywords. Each field can contain up to 50 characters separated by spaces, not commas. The title, the UPC, and manufacturer and merchant are added automatically. So you don't need to repeat them in your keyword field or in your title. I see this all the time where you're putting their brand in there. That's already searchable. Don't waste characters by repeating these words in the search fields. You should not enter entire key phrases into the keyword fields either. Amazon search engine works by combining individual words, but not looking to match entire phrases. There's no need to waste valuable keyword space by entering USB computer speaker or US Bluetooth speaker, USB iPhone speaker, etc. Instead, remove the repeated words and put them in logical order. When entering several words as a search term, put them in the most logical order. This is what I call a long tail keyword. A much more likely search for big stuffed teddy bears than teddy stuffed bears. This is something to consider when you enter a string of words into a search term field, which we call a long tail keyword. And this can help you quite a bit. You end up by using long tail keywords with smaller searches, but those add up. So if you have several keywords that have smaller searches, those may add up to several thousand searches in a month, which you turn into sales. So you end up with much more compact list of terms, more space for relevant search words. Here's what you end up with after removing the repetitive words: USB, computer speaker, Bluetooth, iPhone. So instead of using 63 characters, now you've only used 37, leaving you a lot more room for additional keywords. Amazon counts for stemming, plurals, and commas. Another common debate is whether you should use commas and plurals in your keyword fields. Seller Central outlines clearly this as well. Stemming is taking a root word and adding various endings to it. For example, you don't need to go diet, diet, dieting, dietary, dietitian. So they have those words stemmed, which means they account for them in your keywords. As you can see below, when you look at those are all in order, and you can see that there's no reason to do it. I've not found a definition of what basic is, but anything beyond those words, I don't think, unless they're synonyms. You don't need to use simple stemming variations. This is from Amazon. Our search engine performs basic stemming. For example, it would treat the search for gloves as the same for glove. No commas are needed in your keyword fields. You're just taking up characters. In fact, Amazon stated that you don't need any types of punctuation. Amazon's system ignores commas and punctuation. When entering several words as a search term entry, you don't need to use punctuation, and that's according to Amazon. You should not add competitive brands to your fields. This is a common practice of putting other brands in your keyword fields. The assumption is that it's a good way to get more traffic to your page. Actually putting irrelevant keywords in your fields, including brand names that aren't yours, is a good way to have your product listing removed. Amazon classifies this as a keyword bombing. It makes you know that your product listing could be deleted from a category if you're found guilty of using irrelevant keywords. Having correct keywords in place and having your keyword field set up the Amazon way in which they suggest will play a big role in boosting the visibility of your products to qualified customers who are ready to purchase. It's hard to do once you understand the Amazon way works the best. Let's go through the basics. So above we talked about the easiest part of finding good Amazon keywords. The next part is, how will we make that successful? How competitive are these Amazon keywords that you have? Judging the competitiveness of a keyword is an art rather than an exact science. There are some who say it's easy to outrank Amazon pages, others say it's virtually impossible. I definitely see all the time people outrank Amazon. I don't think they're as good sometimes as I can be, or you guys could be. If you find lower ranked keywords, try to dominate those ones like we talked about earlier. Those searches can add up very quickly and can end up with thousands of searches just by adding smaller keywords that maybe have 200, 300, 500 searches a month. So how do I basically find these keywords? I use services like Merchant Words to actually give me some guess of how much searchers there are. I use an Amasuite software called Azon Keyword Finder. But then I suggest you just continue to build a list of potential keywords. If you're like me, everywhere you look, you'll see important keywords. But how do you find them, right? Well, normally I start first by gathering a huge list, and then I work on filtering them down. I start searching for relevant to what I want to find keywords for. If you're searching for keywords for a product, you could search Amazon to see what they suggest. And you'll see in the auto suggestive at the top, when you write things, you'll see what they are suggesting. Those, I think, are the most relevant keywords. Google Keyword Planner. So just click the Keyword Planner and get ideas, and it does its magic. I would suggest looking around for results, a page, a bit for your own to see what you find. But we could do that forever. For the sake of this, what we're talking about now, just pull out a CSV file and put all these in there. Researching keyword of the competition. The best tool I've found for searching keywords is either Moz SEO Toolbar or AMZ Tracer. And then I think that gives you the ability to be able to see what your own keywords are ranking for and what your competition, and it's like $50 a month. So again, these are tools that will help you rank. It's not that much money. You'll need some tools to make your product successful. Another part of getting great reviews and creating your launch program is using a feedback company to help you auto respond to your customers to create great customer service after their purchase. Some people are not aware of this, but Amazon allows you to send emails directly to your customers. So what these programs do is automate sending out emails to your customers basically following up with them with a sincere email, just asking if they're satisfied, what else you can do. And feedback is directly about how Amazon performs, and reviews are about your product. So what you want to do is actually push your responder to really get people to give you feedback. If the buyer says negative things about your product in the feedback area, here's an amazing thing. You can request that Amazon remove it. So your autoresponder gives your customers real communication with you. You make them personal. And then what happens is you push them towards giving some feedback. If they give feedback that's negative, then what you can do is request to Amazon to remove it, because Amazon is responsible for delivering the package, not having it damaged. If the product performs bad, then that's a review. So if you see negative feedback, you can ask for it to be removed. If you see positive feedback, you can then follow up again with the people who gave you the good feedback and ask them to do a review. You know, lots of these programs have pre-built email campaigns. You can find them all over. On Fiverr, they have people offer to help you write them. They're very inexpensive. You can also get email alerts when you get negative reviews, seller feedback, or product reviews. It provides you the opportunity to thank the customer for the comments and provide good customer service, so you can maybe get those disappointed customers happy. So you need to make sure that the emails come off authentic. Most people don't complain about receiving too much customer service. Plus, stirring up hundreds of positive reviews out of nothing gives you a much better chance at improving your BSR and making your launch more successful. So make sure that you have a feedback program in place to make sure you're communicating with your customers. So now we're going to talk some more about pay-per-click advertising, which is probably one of the key components to your launch. It's very important. If you think about what sponsored ads actually do, is that Amazon's willing to put you on the front page basically by paying them off. I mean, I don't think you can make it any more simple than that. Amazon's willing to sell you space on the front page, to put your product on the front page, just like the guy who spent all this time and effort getting on the front page with his listing organically. So then the idea is to create a conversion rate in which you can actually do promotions and have it at least break even, because once you get into break even, that basically becomes free BSR bump. You're not losing any money. You're selling your product and you're breaking even, which is the idea, what you ideally want to get to. Because if you're making $1 on a product with pay-per-click, then you're in good shape, because you basically have a internal combustion engine that creates BSR bumps. So let's talk about it a little bit. Sponsored products use targeted ads to give you more control over product merchandising on Amazon by boosting your visibility of your products when shoppers search for keywords you bid on. You pay a fee for this service only when the Amazon shopper clicks. So you're not paying Amazon unless somebody says, oh, I want to look at that. You get the exposure, but you don't pay anything unless they click on it. Sponsored products give you more control over your product merchandising. Consider using sponsored products to increase your product visibility for new offers, unique selections, or clearance or sales. Seasonal promotions, that's a great place to use those things. Your ads are eligible to display in a variety of ad placements. You can appear on the ads below the search results or in the right column in the search result pages and an ad placement on a detail page. Amazon may also, ads may also appear in the mobile and both tablets browsers as well. Sponsored products use cost per click auction-based pricing, like I talked about a second ago. You set the maximum amount that you're willing to pay when a shopper clicks your ad on your product. The more competitive your bid is, the more likely your ad will be displayed when Amazon shoppers search for one of your keywords. You set a daily budget for each campaign for your ads to be displayed. For the amount you entered is the average daily amount you're willing to spend in a calendar month. For example, if you set your daily budget at $100, you'll receive up to $3,100 worth of clicks in that calendar month, assuming a full 31-day month. At the end of the month, your average daily value or advertising spend will not exceed your daily spend. So what they're saying is basically you could have, in the first week, you might have 100 on one day, but the next day you spend 150 or 200 because over a weekend they may be able to give you more clicks. But at the end of the month, and they're not going to throw them all at you at one time, but you may get 2 or 3 days ahead where you spent more money. $100 is pretty strong. You have a pretty big product if you're using $100 a day. Obviously, you spend $3,000 or $4,000 a month in product, you better be moving some product. So with sponsored products, you select the products you want to advertise from your existing listings on Amazon. You assign them keywords to those products and set your cost per click, per bid, per keyword. You will organize your ads into campaigns using the campaign manager on the advertising tab in the Seller Central campaigns. They allow you to able to track your results, makes the most sense for you. In my opinion, pay-per-click is a gold mine right now. The ROI can be absolutely incredible for certain products, but certainly not all of them. And certainly people struggle with this. This is not something just happens overnight. You need to be patient with it. We talked about what we think really what pay-per-click is. It's Amazon selling themselves out and saying, listen, spend some money and you'll get on the front page. Or maybe the second or third page because it costs less to be there. So one of the #1 things we talked about is to make sure that your listing is prepared, because there's no sense of sending traffic that doesn't convert. So we talked about all the things you need to do to make your listing. That's why I spent that time telling you about what you need to do with your listing, because without a great listing, your whole launch goes away. So that's important, and why all those things need to happen, because when you send traffic, and especially traffic you're paying for, you want them to convert and buy. So in general, I always go with manual targeting, except in the beginning. I suggest the same for you. Semi-understand this keyword stuff because it's not that hard. Automatic targeting can be really bad at generating profitable ads for many, but it can be a cool way to find keywords by letting Amazon pick a whole bunch of keywords for you. And it's not profitable second-tier keywords when you're ready to have a profitable campaign. I split that up. And I create some ads with manually up front that have higher ranking keywords, and then I do one with low. And my goal is to get products keywords that add up when you get a search term that's smaller, like wooden steak knives may only be getting 200 searches a month. You bid on that and you're going to get in there easier because maybe the other people have put so much time and they don't have that keyword listed. And so you can quickly go in there and dominate it, especially if you have a URL, and get in there and dominate that space. You need to create a big, giant manual campaign. We talked about when you search for keywords about creating how you get them and how to put them in one big file and drop them in. Let them sit there and cook for a week at least, 10 days. So that you can see what Amazon promotes in an automated one, and then the manual one, you're going to put your keywords and see how you do. Once you get through all that, you basically created this big giant wheelbarrow. You created this big giant wheelbarrow full of keywords, and you're really aggressive. Now, even if you bid $5 a day or $10 a day, there's a lot of times where you're not even going to get close to that, because the more clicks and the more organic you get listed for your keyword, because you're sending traffic to it and you're converting, you're going to start seeing other benefits to that with your keywords there being ranked and getting more plays, because your cost is going to go down because you convert more. And so cost going down is you get paid when you convert. So your costs go down when you begin to get more searches in there, and you begin to get more keyword clicks. So the strategy with pay-per-click is this. Go in, get as many keywords as you can. Create 2 campaigns. One with automated from Amazon for the first 7 to 10 days. Find out what converts there. Then create your own big giant list and go in there and drop, 1,000, 10,000, as many keywords as you possibly can come up with. Drop them into one file. Let it go in there and percolate, and then wait about 7 to 10 days and go in there and then pull all your keywords out, make all the duplicates go away, and then go back in and use those keywords in your listing and really try to step that up. And that will create higher conversion rates, and then hopefully you can get in a situation where you start making money on pay-per-click, which if you get to there, that's what I call the holy grail. You're making money on putting your product on the front page, meanwhile, while it's growing towards the front page, and this magic things happen. So I would suggest to you that when you're doing pay-per-click, you actually rank better organically. It seems to increase visitors, and sales can bump your organic rankings in Amazon up a few spots for sure, which is worth a lot more money with the ads that could cost you. Test after test, and myself, and seems others show the same thing, is it's a double bonus with pay-per-click. Now here we are at the last big section of the super launch, which is the super URL, and I think that this really impacts your listing, I feel like, a whole lot, because I've just seen these huge impacts by just sometimes 3 or 4 people using a super URL to a specific keyword. All of a sudden, you're ranked on the first page from nowhere, and it happens crazy. So I know that people going through a listing and actually clicking on your page, if you're 20 pages in on a keyword, helps you out tremendously. As an Amazon seller, you want to do as much as you can to optimize every inbound click to your Amazon product page, whether that comes from a review campaign or you do everything you can to Facebook tweet, and I'll talk about that in a little bit, and how you get traffic going to that super URL. Amazon's algorithm will impact your best sellers rank. This being the case, it makes sense that whenever you're driving people to Amazon, you should definitely have your own URL. Amazon loves people straight to the product they want to buy, and loves showing the product pages in that category that convert the best highlights results. So it's very simple. So if you sell steak knives and you have a product ranked at page 20 when you search steak knives, and somebody goes directly in there, like I talked about a second ago, they could be driven right to your page. And Amazon says, man, these people are converting for wooden steak knives, and all of a sudden, you're sending traffic to this thing by putting it out to review groups. So you're sending traffic from things you're doing to promote it, and then you're sending it out to review groups. We're going to go in there, purchase your product through this URL, thereby giving you that bump, them then giving you reviews. So there's this big magic thing that happens because it all works together. You send review groups to buy your product, they then go and give you reviews. And so it's a big thing, sales, reviews, and as well as any traffic you can send to that. And the results are spectacular. The problem with doing this is you get people to go through the whole process of doing the exact search phrase you want, and then rely on them to scroll through all the pages if you do this manually. Meaning, Amazon thinks that if you use a super URL, that you're going in and your customer goes in, searches on the front page, and then goes 20 pages deep and then buys your product. It's a whole lot of problem. And review people aren't going to do that. So you have to have a super URL where they can link in and get a crazy bump. So there's some great services out there that I'm currently a big fan of. You can create this, and if you just put in your search box and you put in how to create a super URL, there's a bunch of videos. It doesn't take but 10 minutes if you have no idea what you're doing, and 5 minutes if you're pretty savvy. So, but I also think that there's ways to avoid this, and I like to keep myself and my life as automated as I possibly can. So there are companies out there that will create this for you, and you don't have to do anything, and they're able to set up in just 2 or 3 minutes and do this for you and do it securely. So what these companies do is they actually set up a landing page or a squeeze page, and they have software that runs for the Amazon product promotions, and you get a very specific. So what a super URL is, in all essence, is it's an Amazon squeeze page where you're collecting data before they get to Amazon. And when you go from that landing page, they click the link, and then they go in and they get issued a unique coupon code that allows them to buy your product at a lower price, and then give you that review, or do whatever you want. You can have it do whatever you want. You could have it a full price one and just run people through it anyway. Selling on Amazon is a great gift to me. It's exciting traffic, inherent trust, streamlined checkout process, and ease of fulfillment, and that's why we love Amazon. But Amazon doesn't allow you to market to existing buyers announcing products or promotions, for example. So obviously you want to try to get some product inserts and do what I call warranty registration, and that's a great way to get people to get their email addresses so you can remarket them later. But it has to be a warranty. You can't ask them specifically for their email. So what I do is hey, register your warranty, and that will get you those emails. And so this is another way in which the super URL will let you do that too. And in Amazon's eyes, because all the customers are theirs, Amazon masks your buyers' emails so you can't screen them and send them information. You only can use their email to get to them inside of Amazon, and they book it so you can't see what the actual email address, and it runs through their system. So in other words, you have no control of the communication you get, and you will face dire consequences. Selling privileges revoked. You can get caught violating the TOS. This restriction is possibly a way to get yourself in trouble and get your business in trouble. So, getting emails is definitely something that you have to make sure you're very inside the lines with your product inserts if you're getting emails. Running a promo with landing pages will solve this problem completely, because before you get to your buyer, you're actually collecting emails. Now, obviously, you're not sending tons and tons of traffic in there, but it's just a great way to get those extra emails. Another big issue of trading off dollar promotions and giving them away is that you really can't control how many units you give away and discount for it. It may be a problem for big brands, but for FBA sellers like us, your coupon code can be very dangerous. Here's why. If someone shares your traditional coupon code on Facebook or Slick Deals, bargain hunters can wipe out your entire inventory in a matter of hours, leaving you with a hefty fulfillment bill to pay, plus you've lost all your product. The new claim code system, single use, 1 unit of product. It's Amazon answer to this problem, but you have to give 1 unique code to each buyer, which can get very time consuming very quickly. Imagine giving out 20 codes and having to keep track of them. Our landing page system, what it does is it creates unique codes automatically that can be verified by each buyer, so you don't have to worry about it. You can enjoy your day off as an FBA seller while running your promo, knowing your inventory is safe. In addition, I add some of these 5,000 person like pages in my process because I have some Facebook. So the system and the company that I believe does all this stuff for you that I think is really great is a company called amzpromocentral.com. And they do all those things that we just talked about. They create your landing page, they create unique coupon codes. So it's a no-brainer. It's very inexpensive, and you can get this done and have it set up in 5 minutes and forget it and go do something else. And that's why I do it. Now, there are some other services that offer similar things. I just happen to be liking right now Amazon AMZ Promo Central. So that's a great asset that you should be using to create your super URLs. So the last things I do in my super launch is I have over time created some great 5,000 person like pages that are specific to my niche. So, and I have a background using Facebook platforms, so I post and I create some marketing because I know my marketing is going to a audience that I've created, which is unique. By getting people to go to websites to do that, I've tracked those people. I've created unique audiences that I can market to. Now, that may be outside of a lot of your guys' abilities, but put your friends, put your links on your own Facebook page. You just want to try to get people to get in there and buy, even if they're not giving reviews. I don't care. I want them to buy, and I want them to click to that keyword. So I don't think Amazon's going to give you as much grief about your friends buying your product. It's the friends buying your product and giving reviews. Doesn't say they can't go buy your product and go through your your super URL. So that's what you want to think about. So I also have 2,000 Instagram and 2,000 Twitter fans. So when I launch a product, I deluge Amazon for 6 weeks with everything I can go through to get through that listing. I also have some good luck with Pinterest and Bing, as it's very cheap, and Yahoo is as well. Google works, but it's a lot more expensive. And I tend to see that traffic doesn't convert as well on Google, and the conversions aren't as good, and it costs you a lot more money. So you kind of have to add in. So what you want to do is throw everything you can, figure out how you get a great listing, figure out how you get people to give you reviews. You want to make sure your keywords are together. You want to make sure that your bullet points, you want to make sure that all those things are working in tandem. You want to make sure that your PPC campaigns are good. So that's how we create an overwhelming, super crazy launch. And so that's what I've got for you today. I hope that it was really interesting, and I hope that it's benefited you. We're going to stick around for about another 10 to 15 minutes to answer all the questions that you may have. And then we're going to tell you how you might be a part of the Gorillaz boot camp. If you stick around for that, we're going to give you a copy of our 7-step strategy. It has over 3 hours of video in it. It has a bunch of workbooks to go with it. And we're just going to give that to you for free. And you can definitely get some basic strategies. It's an overview of our entire strategy and how we teach people to become successful sellers. So we're going to go ahead and open it up to questions.
All right, everybody. So I hope that what you got here today has helped you out. We're going to answer some questions here for just a little bit. And we're going to share with you, we talked earlier about the Amazon Gorillaz boot camps, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. And then if you have some questions, please put them in the box and we can go over some of these things and answer some more questions. If you're a member of the boot camp, I'd love for you to stick around and maybe tell some people in the chat box some of your experiences with it and how it's helped you maybe. So I imagine a lot of you have just listened to all this and you're like, holy cow, I got to learn all that. I got to find a product. Holy cow, I got to learn more. So we talked about earlier that that's why mentors are so important, because you probably have a little lack of confidence, because if you use the wrong strategy, you may fail. You know, most of us at some point have probably joined 50 Facebook groups and watched a bunch of webinars and listened to podcasts. And some of you have maybe even watched a lot of my 50 hours of content I've created. Some of you may even have taken a course or watched some other great webinars. And some of you I know took a $5,000 course. But all that happened was now you have a list of more things to learn, but you don't have any real support. I hear you thinking the exact same thing I did when I was starting. Your course may be great and your webinars are full of great information, but are you going to help me, guide me through the process? Are you going to be able to answer my questions along the way, so that if I need to have more detail explained and I need a better explanation, I need you to walk me through this a lot more. You probably haven't picked a product champion yet, or you have and you still need information to know how to properly implement a lot of the things that we talked to today. So what's inside the product boot camp is basically a whole lot more detail about what we've shared here today. We also, the boot camp meets together. The boot camp meets together twice a week. And we have, as we talked about earlier, we have people come in who are experts, who are very successful sellers. We quiz them and give them ideas about how you can implement and be inspired by a lot of them. I do teaching lessons that are specific towards that. And then we also have these recorded, so you can go back and listen to them every time. So it's the actual on time. Our Facebook page is pretty active. Paul and I answer a lot of questions. I definitely think there is a definite movement where everybody gets their questions answered. And I think we've made a bunch of people we've got through, and they're actually sourcing the products now. Some of them have already got their products in. And our goal is to do this over an 8-week period. So this is an 8-week boot camp that we go through to try to get you to get your product sourced, have that support for yourself, so that you're not just out there by yourself trying to figure this whole thing out. So, hey, Paul's in there kind of showing you around inside of the product boot camp. And the product boot camp now has basically turned into a full boot camp, which means we help you, we give you lessons about how to actually set up your account, how to move past that all the way through finding the product. We have a bunch of videos on how to find out what's too much competition, We actually have some great videos on how to use AmaSuite and Top 100 Analyzer. And by the way, if you're here and you still need a copy, and you still want to purchase a copy, I'm still doing walkthroughs. I'm doing half-hour walkthroughs. If you buy AmaSuite or Jungle Scout from me, I will personally meet with you and we can discuss your business. We can discuss, you can ask any questions you want. I'll do product searches with AmaSuite or Jungle Scout. So that's still out there as an offer. So Paul, do you want to tell them a little about Inside the Bootcamp real quick?
Yeah, I'd love to. Right, basically what we've got inside the bootcamp is a number of different areas. And what we've done is broken this down into certain sections. The first part is what we call the toolbox. Now, the navigational documents or the workbooks, which I'm in at the moment, this is basically a downloadable workbook that goes along with each of the videos within the training sessions as well. So under selecting a product category, we got setting up your Amazon business, products to avoid, and all of these sections here will have their own downloadable PDF as a workbook, so you can work through that as you go along. So the next section under the exhibition toolbox is useful guides. So any useful information or useful guide that we come across, we will upload it into this particular area for a reference point of view. Amazon FBA Jargon Buster, for example. What is PPC? What is FBA even? All of that information is loaded in there. And as you can see, we've got plenty of this. In here, we've got email swipes. We've generated a number of email templates that you can use when contacting your supplier. No need to think about it, already written for you. Shipping terms and expressions. What is FOB? What is X Works? What does all of this mean? It's all there. It's all explained for you. As well as part of the strategy is what to pick and what not to pick. And some of those have been highlighted within this workbook. We can't obviously list absolutely everything, but it gives you a very, very good overview of all of that. Then we go into sourcing from China, because this is not just about finding a product, it's finding a product and actually getting it and listed and actually selling it. Okay, so we go into how to do that. A lot of my background, I've been working in China since 1996 was the first time we went over there. I've been working there ever since. I lived in Shanghai for a number of years. It's not a case of how many stamps I got in my passport, but how many passports I had to renew before they ran out, expired. So anyway, that's basically what we've got. In here, we've also got walkthrough videos that are not necessarily a part of the training, but it's a useful guide. Some of the members within the group themselves will come up with a great idea or a great shortcut or a great hack. We will do a quick recording of that, upload it into the useful guides. So all of this information is in here. How to do this. I had what I call a duffer of a product. This is my product here. We've managed to turn that around just by playing with some of the keywords, the titles. We actually started to look at what we've been talking about tonight is optimizing the listing. And I went from 3 a month to 10 a day. It's not continuous 10 a day. I wish it was, but it's 9 a day, 5 a day, 6 a day, 10 a day, 4 a day, from 3 a month. So making some simple changes, I walked through that. Let's go back and have a look at some of the other areas. So selecting a product, we're looking at how to use Jungle Scout. We've got interviews with Chris Mercer from Jungle Scout. We've got an interview with Chris Guthrie, the guy that developed the ASON Top 100 Analyzer and the AmaSuite suite of tools. We then look at how to source products from China, how to find products from various different places in China, Alibaba being one of those, how to negotiate with the supplier, how to talk to them, and various different aspects we go through. And as Rob was saying, we we have a live call twice a week with every member where we have some training and we have question and answer session. And the idea there is to get everybody moving, motivated, and help them get their products move through the system such that everybody is able to overcome the hurdles that they've had before, be able to move forward and actually find that product where they have been stuck before, or like sort of Verso and other people got products where they're not able to move them. Because of that, they've felt a little bit reluctant to do anything about it because they're frightened that they're going to get another wrong product and spend more money on a product that doesn't work. We've been able to break down those barriers, work with the individuals, work within a group as a community, and actually move forward. So I think everybody is taking that, even if it's just a small step forward. That's a huge step forward.
That is the biggest step forward, Paul. The biggest step forward is having a product. It's the only thing that matters in this process is to get yourself a product. So listen, the bottom line is all that's great, Paul. I mean, all of that's great. And I appreciate all that information I put together and it's all organized and you can go in there and learn all you want. But at the end of the day, if you just had that, you're still on your own. And
that's right.
That's what the Gorillaz Base Camp's about. And that's what the boot camp's about, is for you to actually have access to people that can help you find the questions and answers that you need. But also, if I don't know an answer to questions, we can go out and find that answer. I know, hundreds of sellers that are far more successful than I am, but we can go find that answer for you. You can get your questions answered all week. You can be in our Facebook group. And listen, Paul and I've hopped on, I'm sure there's people in here right now that I've hopped on personal phone calls with them, and we've actually talked together and worked and, and tried to solve some problems for people and give them some more confidence. So we're not opposed to holding hands a little bit to get people through this. And like, I'm so excited about your product because I remember when we first met and how Paul was out there and he was literally selling 3 a day. And he's like, I'm just stuck in this product I'm never getting out. And we decided
that's 3 a month.
I was going to get them out. And man, we're actually debating right now whether or not, whether or not you, we're going to maybe buy some more. So that's a pretty cool thing. All right. So all of that. So basically, let me share with you on my screen and I'll tell you how you can get into boot camp. And so here's my screen. All right. Present to everybody, and then we're going to get you guys out of here. I think we've answered everybody's calls. So basically, here it is. It's our Finding a Product Boot Camp, and we actually have just named it Boot Camp now. That's when we started 15 days ago, so we're actually going to change these today to Boot Camp. So we also started out with a 4-week campaign, and now we're doing a full 8 weeks. Because we really felt like you couldn't get just maybe your product sampled like most of our people did, but we need to get you through getting as close to the launch as we possibly can. So it's 8 weeks of information. Now I'm going to send you this link, and this is also the hour-and-a-half long video we did about actually searching your product. So if you want to watch that, that's out there. So here's kind of how it works. Instead it's 4 weeks, it's 8 weeks now, and you get 16 hours of product strategy and question and answer systems. You can see the other things there of all the things we've already. Hello?
I can see your sticky notes, your yellow sticky notes, nothing else.
Oh, okay. I'm on it. Well, that's good. There it is. Back on that one. It shared that screen actually. So we're at 8 weeks. You get 16 hours of product strategy, question and answer systems. I'm going to put the link in here in just a second for this. So, and then you get all the other stuff. You get the forms and everything that Paul shared with you earlier. And for 8 weeks, here's the number. And if you're interested, please let us know. And you can purchase that right here. I'm going to give you the link to that. Right there's the link. It's $197 for 2 months. And it gets you all those things. So if you're interested in joining us in the boot camp, it's $197. It's $100 a month. It's $25 a week, and about $12 per time you get to meet with us. So you'll get to meet with us personally like this. We do question and answers. So basically, $12 $12. We don't see the screen. There we go. I'm sorry. There you go, guys. So at the end of the day, this is what we got. You get the 16-hour product strategy question and answers, a hands-on 8-week product boot camp, and it's $197 for the 8 weeks. And like I said, that's about $12 per meetup that we have. Plus, you have lifetime access to all of the membership area, and we're constantly adding new stuff in there. A lot of these links you see people in here. We have a whole toolbox area. We have, I don't know, a million different things you can use, a lot of free software, and then some paid software as well. So, hey, we'd just like to encourage you. If you want to be a part of our boot camp, a bunch of people in here today are part of it. I saw some really great comments. I hope you saw them. We'd love to have you a part of that. I'm going to give you guys one more. I'm going to give you one more. I'm going to give the forms that I have, which are my 7-step product strategy that I'm going to give you guys. Hold on. There we go. So, guys, thanks for coming. Again, I'm going to give you this. This is the 7-step link. And hold on. I missed it there. So here's the 7-step link. And then if you want to be a part of the boot camp, I'm going to give you that one more time. Here's the, so if you're interested in being a part of the boot camp, there you are. But here's a couple questions. Same here, Jocelyn. It was a joke how we chose our first product. Identify main selling idea, your category, and what you're doing. The guidance of, so here at the boot camp, the guidance of Paul and Rob is amazing. Oh my gosh. We have a list of viable products and items that we can sell. Today, we have 2 of those products are going to Amazon soon. The third one is getting started. These guys took our list and advised and helped to revise that list. They were there for Skype with us 2 hours. And how cool is that? I have been more confident selling on Amazon than ever before and highly recommend these guys. Hey, guys, thank you so much for the nice words.
How cool is that?
That is cool. That's why we do this. And like I put it in the chat box earlier, I could not be happier to be around a more inspired group of people who are actually taking action and making things happen. How about the fact that we may have, 20 people who actually get a product launch and they all become part of the 1%. So that means that somehow we've done something. We're selling some products for some people. I'll be able to, once I shut this down, I'll be able to stay in the chat box with you. If you have any other questions, I'll stay here for another 10 minutes after we stop. Hey, guys, have a great Saturday afternoon. $197 if you want to be a part of the boot camp. If you look in that link, there's also the link for the 7-step strategy that's for free. So anyway, guys, we love you. Paul, thank you. I'll see you soon.
Yeah, I just want to say that I can't upload files in here. What I'm going to do is upload the HTML template into the files in all of the Facebook groups.
Paul, we don't have to do that. Let's just put it in that link for that 7-step strategy. We'll put the links in there for those documents. And then when they go to that link we just gave them, they can download it there.
Perfect. Even better. I should do that.
All right. So there's that link. He'll put those videos there, those links. I'll also put my link for the photo resources as well. And hey, thank you. Leslie, you are definitely going to be part of the 1%. You guys are awesome as always. That's great stuff. Thank you, Rob and Paul, for the wealth of information. Boot camp is the way to go. We would not be where we are if not for them. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Kind words. Hey, we'd love to have you be part of the boot camp. 8 weeks, we're going to help you. All right. Have a great day, guys.